Okay, let me just offer a kind of a painting in broad strokes, sort of like a child's painting. You know, this is the earth, this is the sky, this is my house, this is my mom and my dad, and this is me. And these are wonderful paintings that, they're not art, I suppose, even though they look very charming on the refrigerator or whatever, but they're like a resume, a personal statement of who I am. I want to do just a brief description of philosophy that's kind of like that. Life, this is life. And these are the functions that are necessary to live. And the first one is, what's the nature of the situation? Then, what are my alternatives for action? My choices. Then, prediction. How will the world unfold this way, and if I choose this way and act that way, or if I choose another direction. And this is love. What do I care about? And this is action. So, altogether, living. And philosophy mainly has to do with this first function of what's the nature of the situation. I think it's true that alternatives actually do exist, even though they're abstract. Your choices, I think they're real. I don't think, we don't make them up. We see them. When we see them, we don't invent them, right? They were there already. That's just the nature of possibility. And predicting has to do, these are all these are involved in philosophy. But this is the context that I mean to offer. Also, I'm aware that, philosophers are supposed to be, concerned with connecting the realm of science, with the realm of the mystic, of metaphysics. But for today, I'm more interested in a much more ordinary view of what philosophy is. So I would suggest, since in our language we say, we might refer to someone's personal philosophy, and by that we mean everything that they believe is true. So it's in that sense that I suggest we begin using this term. And the role of philosophy in our dealing successfully with the crises that we're in and are coming is the same as, basically as the everyday role of philosophy in our lives. For example, suppose you're driving in your car and you have a breakdown. The car quits running and you're by yourself. And let's assume that you have some basic tools. That would mean, I suppose, a crescent wrench and a screwdriver and a pair of pliers and hopefully some duct tape and some baling wire or tie wire. Now, my friend Vance Brees, whose judgment I respect in these areas, assured me at one time that he reckoned that 75 or 80% of all breakdowns you can drive away from if you can figure out what to do. and if you have some basic tools. So the likelihood is, if you're driving your car and you break down, even if you're alone, likelihood is your problem is a philosophical one. That is to say, there are two cars. One car is the car that you drove there in and you hope to drive away in. That's the material car. You know, it might weigh 1.5 tons or something. Or, I don't know, it has a weight. And the other car is the car that's in your head, your understanding of that car. And your task then, you see, is to get the car that's in your head to resemble enough the real car so that you can know what to do to fix it and drive away in it. This is the function of philosophy. It's the mind stuff, ideas and perceptions that connect us to reality. And in general, it's the degree of resemblance between our ideas, our thoughts, and what the thoughts are of that gives us the power to live in the world, to interact successfully with the material world. And perceptions too. And I intend to make it clear here how that also should properly be included. And it's actually not a trivial matter in my view. Feelings, by contrast, feelings, since they're not a representation, they're not a model of something else, they're just themselves. The laws that govern feelings are different, but the laws that govern thoughts and perceptions are, as I described, since they're a model of something else. Like I'm having a perception right now of the camera that you're seeing me through. You know it must exist even though you can't see it. And you can believe that I am seeing it. There's a certain crude, I suppose, resemblance between my perception of the camera and my understanding of the camera. If I knew the camera better, I could operate the camera better. That's just how that goes. If the camera breaks, it depends on how well I understand the camera, or can get to understand that's what gives me the power to deal with it. Now, there's a saying, where there's no vision, the people perish. This also, if it's true, and I think that there's a lot of truth in it, this attests to the importance of philosophy, of understanding. See, as we look backward in time, what we call history is what we, as we look forward in time, call vision. And where does vision come from? Well, it does not, I would say, come from what you can see by looking around you. It comes from beyond that. It comes from somewhere else. It comes from this. Right? Seeing possibilities. Seeing what the good possibilities are. What the best ones are. It does not. Only this one is the one that is here and now. And this is connected to here and now, right? All your alternatives, all the paths that you might take begin where you are right now. So they branch away from here and now into the future.